Howdy all Moloch's Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. Um I don't know what I was doing. Um when we trailed off last time. I think I want to check out to see if there's some new places actually where I might be able to buy myself some ammo. So I think we're just gonna do a little exploring today and see what we can see. Because I really do, not just ammo either, but if we see like a bookstore or something along the way, I definitely want to stop and check that out. Uh, Seeing as how I do not have the ability to make um, the motorcycle. Because I can't make steel. So I need to find a crucible, or I need to learn to make a crucible. One of those two things has got to happen. And probably the best way to do that is to go exploring. So we played D&D on Wednesday. Uh, it wasn't too bad actually. There were only a couple of things that I don't remember what they were at this point, but I know there were a couple of points where I was a little irritated at how things were going. Whoa. I not ran into that doggy. But, yeah, we had to get to 3 keys, right, to get into this vault. And in the book, they're pretty simple to get your hands on. And the guide that my DM is using makes it everything just super difficult. Everything it feels like, and I mean we've talked about some of the differences, like the. What is this? Is this like a feed store? Fine swines. You sell pigs? I mean, what's going on in this place? There is definitely a pig in here. Here's the thing, pig. I'm gonna eat you. I was wondering if there was gonna be like a super pig in the basement. You ever seen one of those super pigs? But yeah, so uh, like the one the one key that we got that's in the well no, the one key in the book is the well that's cool and all, but it doesn't help. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get killed just wandering around in here. Also, why did I not use that book? Please give me a second while I use one of these. Lady, I need you to fall down. Q. Oh, where'd you come from? Dang it, I'm being smashed by a guy I didn't even see. Oh, I can't hit this guy. I've used up all my ammo trying to shoot one zombie. Okay, okay, I'm alive. I'm alive. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave now. So, so if, like for example, there's a metal in the game called adamantine, and it's usually pretty rare, um, because it uh, it allows you to make armor that negates critical hits, and which is super powerful. Um, well, mediocre powerful. Let's call it mediocre powerful. It's cool and all, but it's not super, amazing. When you get a critical hit, depending on how you're playing, you might double the damage, or like we're doing, where you add the dice together, or you might roll the damage twice and add them together. So it's bonus damage when you get a critical hit. So this basically just stops the bonus damage, and so that's sweet and all. Um, but the quest is to get a bar of adamantine, and so adamantine is 1,000 gold pieces for one bar. It's super expensive, and because like I can get a full set of plate armor, which is made out of steel or iron, whatever, for 1,500 gold pieces. And this is just one bar. I don't know how many bars it takes to make a suit of armor, but I assume it takes a few. And so that's one of the keys. Well, not in the guide. In the guide, we had to go do all this crap. We had to get this potion of piss. Oh no, I'm sorry, sip, which my DM just kept giggling over because he thought the fact that it was piss spelled backwards was funny. Intentionally, it was piss spelled backwards, and so we did all that. So that's one of the keys. One of the keys was a bronze dragon scale, and I don't know where we were supposed to get that, because he had forgotten that we had already talked to and made friends with bronze dragon, and so we just got him to come out and asked him for a scale. And so then that's two of the keys. So then the third key is an albino gazer. And so we were told we could probably ask the I thought that was a school for a second, which is why I was coming over here. We could probably ask this one group called the Harpers, who are supposed to be spies who get information about everything. And so we asked them, and it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And so they're like, yeah, we have a man who's a spy down in Xanathar's lair. Now, Xanathar's lair is like this place you're supposed to avoid. And it's super dangerous, and it's full of really powerful creatures, which is probably why our DM is forcing us to go there. I mean, when I say forcing, I mean like we don't have to do it, but if we don't do it, then we're not going to play, right? I mean that's the kind of forcing I'm talking about. Like we had a choice. We could have not played the game, or we could go to Xanathar's lair. And, oh, did you see that? Get away from me. Get away from me. What the heck? That guy was just, like, stuck to me like glue. Dirty buzzard. I'm gonna save my ammo pig. You're lucky. That other pig, he didn't get so lucky. PB paper mill. Eric's stuff. Alright, well, I'm not seeing much in the way of exactly what I'm looking for down through here. I guess we could continue south down the road. Let's see where the next place leads to. And so, So I'm like, I really don't want to go into Xanathar's lair. I'm like, can't they just get their guy to come out and bring us the geyser? And he's like, no, you don't understand. The guy, the spy they sent in to Xanathar's lair, has no fighting capabilities. He's an engineer. I'm like, okay, and how does that stop him from getting out of a place that he got into? Well, now he's being watched by a gazer. I'm like, yeah, but a gazer's like a little creature the size of a grapefruit that has a few eyes. Like, it's not that big a deal. I can kill one with like one attack. And he's like, well, this guy's not getting out by himself. I'm like, they can't get their own man out? And he's, nope, we've got to go in. So then I'm trying to figure out how are we going to do this without... Did you see that, man? Look at that guy is like stuck to me. Okay, I might have killed him. And so I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do, because this is just... I don't want to fight through Xanathar's lair. I said we would just go talk, and he wouldn't let us do that. Because Xanathar is super dangerous. Now, the problem is that, yes, Xanathar is dangerous, but Xanathar is also the head of the Thieves Guild in Waterdeep. So he obviously has to work with people. It's not like you're just going after a beholder. And I know he's like paranoid and stuff, but he's the head of a guild of people, you know. But not according to our DM. According to our DM, he's just as likely to kill you as look at you, and we can't talk to him without risking immediate death. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're not gonna take our thief contacts to go talk to another thieves guild, which would make sense to me. But whatever. And so then the unexpected happens. He decides to give us supplies to go in to the... I want over there. Does this road go over there? I don't feel like it does. Oh, maybe it does. We go down here. There's no road over there, though. I'm going to have to cut across the desert. I'm going over here, guys. No, I'm not. I'm going to live here on this rock and get eaten by vultures. And so... Oh, this is like a school right here. Well, it's a stadium. Usually those spawn next to schools, right? Or, no, that was on the Navezgane map that it's next to a school. Yeah, this is just the Navezgane's Coliseum. And so, so we're trying to figure out what to do, and then he gives us supplies, and so they gave us a twig. If we snap the twig, then this guy will show up and save us, because he's super powerful. Although we already killed him once, so I'm not sure how... Oh, I might... Oh, it's big, though. Oh. Will you... Get out of here. Oh, you know what, though? There might be a ton of bullets in there. Provided I don't die from vultures. We're going to go in here. I'm going to make a bed, though. So that I don't have any grass. I can't remember what button does what, alright? Get out of my inventory. So, a twig that we can snap to call on the reinforcements of one guy that we already had to kill. And a wand of detect enemies. I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna be super helpful when we walk into... oh man, I'm like out of food. I thought I had some I must have drank it already. And, you know, I might have some food actually in my mini bike because I don't think I unloaded my mini bike. And, I'm like, well, that's gonna be great because we're about to go into a place where everybody wants to kill us. So I'm sure that, oh yeah, no, there's no food in there. I'm sure that that's going to be super helpful for us to get in there and there we go. To get in there and cast that wand of detect enemies while we're in the middle of an enemy base. I mean, that's where I want to use my wand of detect enemies. And, oh, where did you even come from? Great. Well, luckily I must have come out of there. And so, then comes the thing that gives me the idea on what we're going to do. Dust of Disappearance. For 10 minutes, you and your party are invisible. I'm like, alright. Invisible. I can work with this. 10 minutes of invisibility. And so we also had a crude map. And he let us buy Scrolls of Dimension Door, which is the thing that made my plan work. And I was like, all right. He let us buy. Usually he doesn't let us buy scrolls and potions. And but this time he let us buy them because of how high our, I think that's what he said, how high our reputation was within certain factions. And so about 2 scrolls of Dimension Door. Now, Dimension Door allows you to teleport you and one other person up to 500 feet. And so I was like, okay, so how big is the bag of holding opening? Like, could we fit people in it? And he's like, well, you don't really want to put people in it because once they're in there, after their air runs out, they'll start to suffocate. I'm like, yeah, I know that. And I'm like, could, say, a dwarf and a gnome and a halfling fit through the opening? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, all right, this is gonna work then. This is gonna work. And so we go into the place, and the map apparently indicates there's a secret door, but it's drawn like he didn't draw it. It's just the way it came. But it was drawn in a way that made it. Why can't? Oh, because there's a guy standing right where I want to be. And now I'm out of bullets. There we go. I can handle guys that aren't running. It's the running guys that are an issue. And so we go into the place and we throw the dust of disappearance, right? And so we all turn invisible. And then I got the thief on our team to let me borrow his boots, because he's got boots that make you silent, and they give you advantage on stealth checks involving sound. So if we're invisible, then we can't be seen. And but we can still be heard, and my armor on my warrior gives me disadvantage on the checks involving sound. because armor's noisy. And so, um, so they let me use the boots. And so with the boots and the invisibility, we managed to sneak past the one guy who was for some reason in the hallway. Uh, like, we don't know why he was in the hallway. Well, we do know why he was in the hallway because there wasn't supposed to be anybody in the hallway, right? And so for whatever reason, the court jester of Xanathar was in the hallway. And maybe he's supposed to be there. I don't know. I didn't look in the book. And so we get past him though, and we know where the guy we're trying to rescue is supposed to be. And so we pick the lock and get in his room, and so then we're in there, and while invisible, I attack the gazer, the albino gazer that we need as a key, and kill it before it even gets to do anything, because it doesn't know I'm there. So I actually got a surprise attack, and it's dead. And so then we grab it. We grab the guy. We grab. Why is this open? We make everybody get in the bag except for my bard, who's gonna cast the spell, and my warrior, who won't fit in the bag. And we dimension door out of Xanathar's lair with no one ever knowing that we were there. It was awesome. And he's like, well, I expected this to take a couple of weeks and be like a bunch of tough fights and stuff, but you guys just like... of course, what that translates into is we got no XP. Because he's bad at giving XP. And because we get no XP for like solving things, we get no XP for avoiding fights through clever ploys. So it actually is against us to come up with a clever way to stay safe like we did. But I still didn't want to fight through Xanathar's lair and have to confront Xanathar. And so we teleport out, and so we get to go to the vault last week, or last week, yesterday. And so we get in the vault. I didn't know anything about it. Turns out it's full of puzzles, and so I did look after the session was over at how much is left, and we're like one room away, maybe two, and then this game is over. I don't know what he's gonna do because the book says that the bad guys are supposed to come in and attack us, but we pulled the keys back out, and we still have another scroll of Dimension Door. So yeah, I'm not. I mean, I guess we can't Dimension Door because then what's his face will lose his dog, so they'll just be all there outside the vault door when we open it. Or maybe not, because we're gonna have to talk to a gold dragon. But yeah, so it actually went okay. Not great, because there were a couple of things we tried to do that he just absolutely wouldn't let us. I don't remember exactly. I know we had another session of why are we doing this? Why can't we get someone else? Like, we took the keys, and I'm like, we should go see what's her face, and like, here you go, here's the keys. Now send your army in. But he wasn't have that. Yeah, the traps were weird. Like, we went into a room and there was a painting on the wall, and so everybody had to roll, and only one of us, my warrior, managed to not get enthralled by the painting, and and you had to destroy a 10 by 10 foot section of the painting to make sure it would let your people go. So that was a little weird. That's a big section of a painting. There's no other way to free them. He wouldn't let me just slap them to free them. So, but yeah. So we ended the night fighting a black pudding, which is an acid creature that it's basically a black slime, and they're called. Some of them are called puddings. Some of them are called slimes. There's like gray ooze. This kind just happens to be called. There we go. Some bullets. Black puddings. And unfortunately, though, it was like immune to slashing damage, so I couldn't even hit it, which sucks. You're not gonna let me crawl through there? And so I didn't like that for sure at all. Can't hit it with my magic sword. What's magic sword for? Hey, you want to hit? I didn't even punch that zombie. She fell down. Uh-oh. Might die here. Did you reload like I told you? No. Oh, dang it. They got me. Right in the last second. Oh. Dang it. I pushed the button. I mean, it was not that it was last second, but I pushed the button on my mouse to fire my gun, and just got me before my gun fired. Oh, right, I forgot that I get to keep all my gear. I always forget that that's the sitting that I've got. Yeah, so this was a weird one. I don't remember if I talked about this, but we bought my niece, we bought our niece, I guess, um, a laptop for school, and um, I feel like I talked about this, but oh, see those lightning reflexes took out that snake, and so it's a little glitchy. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little glitchy. If it was mine, I would have wiped it clean and installed from scratch the operating system and stuff. But I hate to do that to a pre-built like she's got because I don't know what software in there makes it easier for the average person to use, and I don't want to remove some piece of something that she's using. You know, I would totally strip that thing bare though and just load the operating system and then go from there. But so she had problems where the Windows update didn't update, and so I'm pretty sure that's what's happened again. And I told them that when they contacted me, and they're like, "This piece of junk. It's not her. It's her father, my brother. This piece of junk isn't working." And nope, nope. And what's that? And so um, he sends me a bunch of texts wanting to know, or telling me all the things that aren't working and how I can't fix it and how the hardware is bad in it, because he's it's basically the same thing he said before when it was a Windows Update error, was that the hard drive had failed and that it needed to be sent back, um, and then I got the software to update and then it was fine for months. Well, they can't change the brightness all of a sudden. I don't even know, and so he says the video card has failed, and he's been trying to update the drivers. Only it sounded like he was trying to figure out what the drivers were and not like going off of something, just deciding this is the driver for this particular piece of equipment. I don't know because I wasn't there. Um, but so uh, that was on Sunday, and I didn't hear anything back from him, and I thought they must have fixed it because I didn't hear anything back from him since Sunday morning. And so yesterday I get a text from my niece, and she's like, "So my laptop still isn't working," and I'm like, "Oh, well, I could take a look at it if you want to bring it over." And she's like, "Oh, do you want it tonight?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna be able to work on it till tomorrow night, anyways, so no, it doesn't have to be tonight." She's like, "Okay, I'll just bring it over tomorrow then." I'm like, "Okay." And so then I get a ton of texts from my brother today going over everything that he's done, and I thought he was just letting me know the things that he has tried over the week to fix it, or the things that he did on Sunday and then stopped and then hadn't looked at it since then. But no, turns out he had taken the laptop to work with him and was working on it at work all day today. Well, not all day, but for a couple of hours. And I had told him to remove the drivers, and so sounds like what had happened was he'd removed the drivers, like I said too, and then Windows installed uh, a different set of drivers to it, which weren't the correct drivers, and so he couldn't get on couldn't install the correct drivers for the video card because according to the computer the drivers were already installed, and so instead of her bringing it over like she said, he had taken it to work today, but it got fixed, so I didn't have to do it. But then I thought, I wonder how much of this is he decided to take it to work today to fix it, or how much of this was he didn't want her to bring it over here for me to look at. Because if you've heard my stories about having the kids come over here, uh, I feel like they don't like them to come over here. And so every time they're supposed to, something happens that, you know, not every time, but most of the times. Alright, that stupid buzzard got me. I can fight me a few zombies, but man, them stupid buzzards, they get me. Look out, guys, we're about to fall off the edge here, I think. Oh, are you dead yet? Wow. I've hit that woman in the pink shirt there a lot. It's a good thing I found all these med kits, huh? I'm disappointed by the number of bullets so far in this gun factory. Well, I should probably call it here. And we'll come back and attempt some more work on this place next time. Click like if you like. Get out of here! Subscribe to Shortcuts to the next one. I could barely say that. And I will talk to you later.